Hello, this is Captain Joel, and welcome to my latest Marvel Puzzle Quest video. In this video, we are going to be discussing the latest 5-star character release, the new Iron Man, released as a part of the Civil War event for the new Captain America movie. So, this character is pretty cool, uh, very tricky to fight against, and pretty powerful to have on your own team. So, let's get started. So first off, let's just see some basic information about him. So Tony Stark helped form the Avengers during the Chitauri invasion of Earth. Now that the threats come from within, it's up to Iron Man to police them. With the Avengers fractured in two, Iron Man leads a team of heroes who believe in accountability and the greater good to track down and stop rogue agents led by his former friend, Captain America. So obviously he's on Team Iron Man, and as I mentioned, there's this new affiliations information for each character in the game. Um, so decent cover choice. I'm not a fan of the purple, but still decent. Um, I like the more sleeker look of the costume. So normally I try to show how a 5-star character levels up since it's so difficult to get covers for them. However, I think that that's no longer really that useful anymore since there's so many 5-stars out there that 3 or 4 or 5 or even 6 cover 5-star is not going to be able to compete against those other 5-stars. And while they still could be somewhat useful in the 4-star land, there's just so many people that already have maxed out 5-stars that I just don't think there's the same value in seeing them at lower cover levels. So I'm just going to show you very briefly what the stats are at each cover level, but not really go into it. So you can see this is with one cover in each color. Okay, so again, okay, so now we can see Iron Man at the full level 450, so he's got 49,845 health. So, and his highest damage is 655, and he's got a 4.3 multiplier. So almost 50,000 health, 655 damage, and a 4.3 multiplier. So he's got the highest attack damage now, the highest health, and the highest damage multiplier. As we'll see later, Captain America has the same stats in those areas. So that's just one interesting thing to note. He's now, so that means he will be doing the most damage even without using any moves. And as we'll also see, that high crit multiplier is very important for Iron Man as a character due to his blue move. So let's now take a look at his different moves. So his red, the winning team. If we can't work together, we're no better than the bad guys. So this is for 9 red AP. And at 3 covers, Iron Man deals 7,651 damage to the target, plus an extra 5,465 damage for every Team Iron Man ally on his team. Now, the description can be a little bit misleading. You might think that Iron Man is on Team Iron Man, so he should be included in that extra damage, but he is not. So that really means he does, if he were the only Team Iron Man character on the team, he would still only do 7,651 damage, meaning that he would add on, at most, this 5,465 twice, at least at 3 covers. Now at 5 covers, at 4 covers you're going to be doing this much damage, and at 4 covers you're going to be doing this much damage. So that means that you will be doing 8,744 plus another 8,000 per Team Iron Man character on your team besides Iron Man. So that would mean that your maximum damage would be around 24,000. So that's a pretty good amount of damage for 9 AP, although you have to kind of choose certain teammates for that to really work out the best. And if you don't have other Team Iron Man characters on your team, then it's pretty much just a ho-hum move. I mean, it still does a lot of damage, more than some other red moves in the 5-star world, but still it's not as great unless you have it at 5 covers. But that is pretty good damage for 9 AP, especially considering a lot of the 5-star characters have conditions in terms of how to activate their moves to get the most damage, whether it be transforming as Old Man Logan or as Phoenix, or being invisible for Black Suit Spider-Man. That there's a lot of conditions to each of these 5-star characters. So I guess his condition and his most powerful attack move is that he has to have Team Iron Man characters on his team. So let's look at his blue move, Girl Friday. That's a funny name. So this is 10 blue AP. Okay, Friday, let's hit him where it hurts. Tony uses his AI assistant to identify his opponent's weaknesses and strike. Converts, this is now dependent on the number of covers you have, 6 of the enemy's strongest color basic tiles to red. After the board settles, destroys all remaining basic red tiles. Does not generate AP. So this move is awesome in terms of damage, because remember, he's doing tons of damage per match, and you're going to be getting, I know it says does not generate AP, but that's referring specifically to the tiles that are destroyed after the board settles. So you can cause some major AP gains from this move, and you're also able to get rid of the opponent's strongest color potentially. This wouldn't work so well against another red character though, so that's something to keep in mind. Now when you add covers from 3 to 4, you're going from 6 to 7. And when you add a 5th cover, you're just going to 8. So that's really 3 versus 5 covers is pretty much whether you want 6, 7, or 8 tiles to be converted. Now, the chance of a cascade goes up quite a bit the more tiles you add. However, I personally, when you're giving up major damage decrease potential in the other moves, I prefer to stick with the guaranteed higher damage over the theoretical cascade that could happen. So that's just my opinion. You're better off, since it's not adding more damage or any other changes to the skill by adding more covers, just 2 more tiles. So I personally would stick with having only 3 in blue. But as yellow, so this is an interesting move. It costs 12 yellow AP. It's called House Party Protocol. Welcome to the party, boys. Iron Man empties the vaults and calls backup armor to his aid. Creates 3 3-turn yellow countdown tiles that deal 6,558 or more damage. It deals 580 damage. If Iron Man would take 658 or more damage, remove one of those tiles and prevent the damage. So this basically has 2 possible outcomes. Well, 3. One of them is they could just get matched away and do nothing. That's always the potential with countdown tiles. The second is he could do it 3 covers up to 18,000 or so damage. I guess 19,500 damage. So that's pretty good damage, although again, it's countdown tiles, and it is a bit expensive. Also, when you're playing against the AI, since the AI won't play this move correctly, but you will, you'll know the AI is about to launch some really strong 5-star move. Throw down House Party Protocol, boom. Iron Man can tank and then take 0 damage. So that's actually incredibly useful in the 5-star world, although unfortunately the amount of damage does have to be quite high for this to work. Um, all that you're doing when you upgrade it, you're going from 6,500 to 7,500, so 3,000 more damage potential, and then for the 5th cover, you're adding pretty much another 1,000 or so. So it's um, a total of 6,000 more damage potential from 3 to 5 covers. So um, it is a decent enough more damage to consider having it in 5 yellows. So like I said, I prefer the more, even though countdowns are also kind of hypothetical, just like uh, the blue conversion of enemy tiles is hypothetical, uh, or theoretical rather. Um, I still prefer countdown tiles. I just feel more comfortable with them going off than random enemy tiles. So overall, I think you're better off with the 5-3-5. I can definitely see though why some people would prefer having the 5 in blue. So I'm actually going to show it with 5 in blue during the match just to show you what it's capable of. So let's go and check it out. So I wanted to show you guys a match with 2 Team Iron Man characters. It's kind of funny how Spider-Man is considered a Team Iron Man character. But anyhow, let's see what happens. So right now we've got 5 covers in red. So we should do 24,000 damage. So let's see if that actually happens. There you go. Almost 25,000 in damage. So that's pretty good for the cost. I'm a fan of the skill. So it's a pretty simple skill though. Now let's try to get some more red out. Oh, that might be tricky. Maybe Phoenix can throw some red down for me. Oh, come on. No. Stop it. Okay. Time for more red. Oh, will you stop? Come on. Give me a break, dudes. Spider-Man nullifies all of your strike tiles anyhow. Ouch. Burn. Feel the burn. Okay. Still don't have the AP I need. Huh, that's interesting. The Silver Singularity stayed out even after Silver Surfer died. Okay, so Girl Friday will activate on black tiles. So let's see what happens. So when you destroy the tiles, it does damage for that as well. So that's a lot of damage. Throw in another 24,000 damage, and you're really rolling in the damage. And let's just knock this sucker out. throw a card at him. Okay. Now let's try to get some yellow. Almost there. It's really tricky to get yellow this match. Huh. Don't match that yellow away. Okay. There we go. So. Uh-oh. Wait, it doesn't matter, because I've got Spider-Man. Sucker. Add as many strike tiles as you want. So, that caused a little bit of a cascade as well. So, as you can tell, he's a pretty useful character. He deals damage. He provides some defense for himself, so he can be really annoying if he's the last one alive. And he does some crazy board shake. Kablamo. So, yeah. So, Iron Man is a pretty good character, obviously because he's, a 5-star, but I'm still really not sure if I would prefer the higher yellow damage or the higher blue transformation potential. I mean, it really depends on how you feel going to the match. Both are pretty good. This is more likely to be used just because this feeds your red, and it's cheaper. But still, it really depends how you feel. In terms of good teammates, obviously red is going to be very weak if you don't put him with other Team Iron Man characters. So that pretty much limits you in the 5-star land to Black Suit Spider-Man and Silver Surfer, and they share some colors. So, I mean, I guess you can negate all the strike tiles with Black Suit Spider-Man to make Phoenix and Old Man Logan teams kind of neutered. What's a Phoenix and Old Man Logan team going to do with strike tiles that don't actually help them at all? So you can have Black Suit Spider-Man for that, and you can have the red damage from Iron Man, you can have the cascades from Iron Man, you can have the cascades from Silver Surfer's Black. The AI, however, will probably screw that team up and not use the powers you want. So it's really not the best team. So it's kind of a funny place we're at now, where 5-stars are actually starting to be usable on teams of other 5-stars, and you have to look at the best 5-star teams. And there's really not the best team yet for any of these newer characters. So overall, though, that's really the only option in 5-star land. You could use other characters that are not Team Cap, in which case his red would be significantly weaker, and you might want to actually have him only have 3 in red in that case. And I don't know, it's a tricky decision, but still I think he is a really cool character, really strong, and he kind of makes the new Captain America character look like a wimp. But we'll talk about him next, so stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe and like and leave a comment, and I'll be back soon with some more information.